All right, what's up, guys? My name's Jake here again. Sorry if it's a little dark in here. It's kind of late today. Been busy. Got home from work and gym and all this other stuff, and wanted to get this done earlier, but didn't have time. So I'm gonna try to sneak it in here and get talking. So. The video that I want to make today, I want to talk about this audio book. I guess technically it's like a lecture or seminar by Brenè Brown. And it's called The Power of Vulnerability. It's about 7-8 hours long. Oh, gosh, something in our teeth there, huh? Yeah. Get rid of that. It's about 7-8 hours long, and it is some pretty powerful stuff, especially if you have been dealing with any issues from within yourself concerning vulnerability. She talks about a lot of different things. Some big points that she touches on are vulnerability, obviously, shame, this concept called wholeheartedness, and a lot of different things that revolve around that. And this is I'm going to make multiple videos regarding this audiobook because I do think it's so powerful and there's just a lot to talk about that I just don't think I can get all done in one go here. So today, the part of her audiobook that I want to talk with you about that stuck out the most to me, and that's why I want to make this first, is this idea of armor that we wear every day. And people have different levels and scales of armor. And what does that mean? What do I mean by that? What does she mean by that? And of course, her audio lecture is going to explain this much better than I can, but I'm just going to kind of go into what I took from it and how I think it can help all of you guys. So it's really easy to get caught in this loop in life where you don't want to be hurt. For me, it particularly started when my dad died, which is roughly 6 years ago now. And in my family, or my immediate family, I'm the oldest of four siblings. I have three younger sisters. So it was my dad, my mom, and us. And my dad was the rock in our family. My mom is an amazing, wonderful woman. But when we lost him, we lost the man in the household, and it was tough for everyone. And going through that pain was really hard. And anyone who's lost a family member, a parent, a child, friend, you know what I'm talking about, and you know how hard it is to come to terms with that. So with that said, he was kind of always the one that took, was always, for me, always, I could always count on him being there. I loved him more than anything. But when he passed, for whatever reason, I felt that I had to take on that mantle of being, the man in my family. And with that came all these other preconceived notions of what I thought that was, and so everyone's going to have their different story and their different situation where they have these preconceived notions in their head, certain ways of thinking that you get stuck in. And I'm going to do other videos about that with just cognitive thinking and whatnot. But, for me, the minute he died, I put on my own suit of armor, and that eventually turned into this like heavy duty, if you can imagine, like a knight in medieval times, just this big thick plate armor, helmet, everything. I kind of, in a way, took that on, and what that did is it didn't, it kept me from being hurt by things outside. It protected me, but also didn't let me out. And what I have found is that armor, it protects you, but it limits you also at the same time. As I started looking at myself and my life, I started realizing that I wasn't able to, and Brenè talks about this in the audio lecture as well, is you kind of have a choice. You can live your life in this perpetual state of protection. You can wear this armor, and you can always kind of be quote unquote safe and protected, but you are robbing yourself of so much when you do that. And this is where the vulnerability comes in. Where you wear the armor, you're protecting your vulnerable spots, so you don't get hurt. And what that does is it actually inversely doesn't allow you to feel the most powerful thing, one of the most powerful things that human beings can experience, which is like joy. And so if you can't experience joy, you're robbing yourself from that. You protect yourself from the pain, but you rob yourself from the joy. And that's what this armor does. And you feel safe and you want to keep it on, but in the end, it hurts you. I found that I wore this with me every day in every relationship that I had, at work, with my family. I started changing, the way that I, enjoyed things, and it was because I wanted to be strong, and I didn't want to be, vulnerable and let other things hurt me, because I didn't want it to affect those people around me that I loved. I had this fear that, if I was hurt, then it would hurt the other people around me, and that was the last thing I wanted. I didn't want that to happen. But again, in the end, all that really does is hurt yourself, and it limits your relationships. It stunts them. It doesn't allow them to grow, and it robs you, most importantly, of what you deserve. And so, with that said, this armor, the minute that I was able to kind of shed that and kind of realize that after, listening to her book and all the many other things that go along with it, it's much more involved in this. I started feeling so much more free. And that's what I want for anyone that's listening to this, or watching this, I should say, look at yourself. Look at the armor that you might be wearing. What are you shielding yourself from? What are you trying to protect yourself from? And when you figure that out, ask yourself, well, is that limiting what you're experiencing? Is that limiting the growth that you have in your life? Is that limiting the amount of joy you can experience? Because, the problem is that everyone's going to get hurt. Okay, it doesn't matter what happens in life. Life is tough, and you're gonna have ups and you're gonna have downs, and you can live the best you can, but tragedies happen. Family members are gonna pass away, friends are gonna leave, relationships are gonna end, and when that happens, you all you can do, is keep moving forward, but you don't want it to be in such a way where you're just in this state of melancholy, where you're just in this state of just numb. You don't get hurt as much because you have the armor on, but you didn't get to experience the joy either. She mentions, it's this place, this center, where it's like both. How does she explain it? But joy and pain, they branch off this same idea. And if you have the armor on, it can only go so far, but you're robbing yourself. You really are robbing yourself when that happens. So this is a complicated topic. Obviously, her her audio lecture is much more refined than what I'm telling you now. But the point of this video is really just to get you to start thinking about it, to maybe explore her book, her books. She has multiple books, her audio lecture, and the things that come along with that. Because really, we all have a finite amount of time on this earth, and we all deserve to want to live it to the utmost, to experience the best, most fruitful, blessed, happy life that we can, and it's hard enough as it is. The last thing we want to do is have you limit yourself. You don't want that. You don't want that. I certainly didn't. And in the minute that I kind of explored this and I realized this, it really kind of changed things. I remember like the moment that I had all these memories of my dad came rushing back, I broke down. I mean, it was this really freeing moment. It was really painful. It's, again, like everything I'm talked about thus far, and a lot of things I'm going to talk about, nothing's easy, but that processing will get you into such a better place in the long run. So I'm going to kind of end things there for tonight's video. I hope you enjoy it. Please hit the subscribe and like button if you feel so inclined. I'm going to keep going with these. Hopefully they'll keep improving day by day. And I'll probably talk, the next video will be another point of the audio lecture from Brenè Brown of the power of vulnerability, because it really is worth talking about in multiple videos. So thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram if you so choose. A lot of that stuff is going to be mixed in with the YouTube, and I do show a lot of my training stuff there if you care about that. I feel like physical fitness is a good way to kind of help your body keep up with your mind. And I just want to say thanks for watching, and leave a comment, and as always, continue to improve every day. My name's Jake here. That's out. Gambate.